Approximately 3 months later was the annual United States Conference of Mayors conference in Baltimore, Maryland. And the annual conference was an incredibly important conference for not only Mayor Kenoi, as a young mayor trying to learn how to best govern this county. It was an incredibly important meeting because the CDB issue was at the forefront of everything that USCOM was trying to do. Mayor Kenoi attended workshops, seminars. When you have these meetings, it's all about relationship building. You're there, you're with other mayors, you're with the 32-member United States Conference of Mayors staff. You're picking their brains, you're building relationships, you're figuring out how to best govern for here. We're in the middle of the Pacific. He's over there. He's entertaining ideas, thinking big picture, thinking vision, thinking of how to do things, and these people are contributing that. But the relationship did go both ways because they knew Mayor Kenoi had the ins with Senator Inouye, and that was important, really important. What happened at the United States Conference of Mayors annual seminar in Baltimore in June of 2011 was really important to them, and it was a humbling, proud time for Mayor Kenoi. Why? Because the nation's mayors elected him to the prestigious advisory board of the United States Conference of Mayors. He, along with only 10 other mayors in the country, were tabbed to the leadership board during that conference. The mayors of Little Rock, Charlotte, Columbia, South Carolina, New Orleans, and the mayor of a small island in the middle of the Pacific were named to this leadership advisory board. Mayor Kenoi's relationship with the United States Conference of Mayors began before that. He immediately upon taking office was working with them. And then in June of 2011, it culminated into this elevation to this prestigious leadership board. Later that evening, on June 20th, 2011, it was the wrap-up, it was the final day of the week-long or several multi-day-long events of the United States Conference of Mayors. At that meeting, the LA mayor who attended the Senator Inouye meeting, Antonio Villaraigosa, he was named the president of the United States Conference of Mayors, the mayor rep. And all of these mayors, all of this leadership personnel at the United States Conference of Mayors have a wrap-up. The wrap-up is held at the same site of where the conference occurred, Hilton. Later that night, at the Hilton lobby bar, they are wrapping up, where are we going to go from here? There's United States Conference of Mayors staff. There's all sorts of dignitaries at this thing. Mayor Kenoi is constantly trying to learn things, constantly trying to better things. And he is engaging in conversations with the United States Conference of Mayors staff about many different items, not just CDBG. The Asian Pacific Economic Conference was coming to Honolulu a few months later, and the mayor had it in his head, you know what might be a good idea? Maybe for the future, we can have an APEC Mayors Conference, and let's get it on the Kona side, the west side. So he's talking with the United States Conference of Mayors folks about trying to do that, to grow the economy, establishing relationships with these people. At the Hilton lobby bar, the United States Conference of Mayors have an open tab. They're buying drinks for people. The mayor has an entertainment expense budget. The mayor that night uses some of those entertainment expenses and purchases rounds himself. To build relationships, to nurture relationships, to strengthen relationships. That's how business gets done. That's how relationships are formed. About a month later, the Wall Street Journal quoted Mayor Kenoi on the CDBG issue because it was huge. It all started back in 2009. It progressed on. The mayor has had a relationship with the United States Conference of Mayors to today, where he still sits on that leadership advisory board. So when the visitors, who were the son, the daughter-in-law, and the two grandchildren of the longtime head of the United States Conference of Mayors, said at the Dallas conference that my family's going to be out there, You bet the mayor took them out and showed them up time and brought a birthday cake for the son and took him up to the lunch at the Volcano House. In the back of his mind, you know what? One of these days, I want to bring the U.S. Conference of Mayors annual conference to Kenoi. We have the infrastructure. We can do that. $200 is a drop in the bucket for establishing, maintaining relationships out of his own entertainment budget. And that's what he did on June 30th, 2014. That expense totaled $200. If somebody had said, hey, you owe us $200, okay, well, I made a mistake. I'll pay it back. But this was a clear-cut county purpose, just like everything other than the miscellaneous county to be reimbursed personal expenses were clear-cut county purpose expenses to aid the county. In that June 2011 trip to the East Coast, the mayor had one more day. They were up late networking with the U.S. Conference of Mayors staff and everybody else. He had one more day. He only makes 1 or 2 trips to D.C. a year. One more day, he's in Baltimore. He shoots down to the D.C. area. Why? Why would the mayor go down to D.C.? Well, that's where the congressional delegation is. That's where Hawaii's congressional delegation. And if we look back in the Great Recession in that time frame, there were critical issues affecting this county and the nation's capital. And the mayor is not just in competition with other states. The mayor of this county is in competition with Kauai, Maui, Honolulu, in trying to obtain stimulus funds and infrastructure funds. He's got one day, he jets down there, he makes the rounds in the day with the congressional delegation, talks to the congressional delegation, and then, as a former staffer for Senator Kenoi, he knows the benefit of not just talking to the bigwigs, but getting the high-ranking staff that works for the bigwigs out and building relationships. He says, as he was there once or twice a year, you know what, I make the rounds. I do what I gotta do. And you know what? Let's go out after work hours and talk. Let's gain intel. Let's build relationships. Let's get together. The mayor's governing philosophy is trust, friendship. When you operate like that, you get things done efficiently, cheaply, and in the county interest.